Yeah, welcome to AFROTIVITY podcast. My name is Ehis Anthony. For the transfer updates, football gist, and I'm not here alone. I'm here with the regular guys, and we have a debutant on today's podcast. But before we get to our debutant, I'd like to introduce the regular guys, which is Chimamaka and Okwe. Chimamaka and Okwe, what's up? How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. It's good to be here again.
Good. Okwe, what's up?
Very well, thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Yeah. And for us to introduce our debutant, Ade, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to AFROTIVITY podcast transfer updates edition. So good to have you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be here. It's my first time on any podcast, so you guys are my first.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm permitted to say this. Oh, let me not say this. Let me not use the word. But we're honored to usher you into the podcast world of football. Podcast world of football. So I know we'll be having you on our podcast on the reg. It's good to have you around. And for the record, Ade is a Manchester United fan. I don't know why we just keep having Manchester United fans on our podcast. Tony is a Manchester United fan. Samiat is a Manchester United fan.
It's almost becoming like a cult. I think we need to do some screening. We need to put some screening next time, honestly.
Dipo is a Manchester United fan as well. I think it's only Chimamaka that is standing alone as a Chelsea fan.
Exactly.
And you said this is not a cult. Okay.
Maybe in your own cult, in Chelsea's cult world, you're the only member there. But it's all good. It's all good to have you guys around. So we go straight. So where do we start from? Because we know January transfer window, there are fewer transfers, but I think a club has been busy this transfer window, which is Arsenal. Do you want to start from Arsenal, or do you want us to take the other stories before we get to Arsenal, or should we just start from Arsenal?
Yeah, but as well as start from Arsenal. Arsenal seems to be juicy currently, so let's dissect that.
Yeah, so let's open the floor for Ade. Ade was saying something earlier that Arsenal tweeted about Socrates' exit from the club, but they're yet to tweet about Ozil. But we know Ozil is still quarantining in Turkey because he has to go through the normal process of quarantining. But Ozil, we know him. He has been on Twitter, posting so many pictures on Twitter, on Instagram about his eminent move to Fenerbahce. Ade, what's your take on Ozil's? Did you think Arsenal did him wrong, or did you think that was the best thing for Arsenal to do?
It's not clear to say to anyone who is in the wrong or is in the right now, but from the way I've been looking at it, Ozil is painting himself in the good light. I know that some people that are like that, that be like, oh, I'm doing all this, so you guys know that it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So all the blame is going towards Arsenal now, but we don't know the true story yet. So I can only, maybe Okwe has more insight on that because he's the Arsenal fan. But what I can see and dissect, Arsenal are looking like they're in the wrong because Ozil is doing all he can. He's still tweeting at Arsenal and saying, if we're be an Arsenal fan, a supporter and all. So let's wait and see if the story comes out.
Okwe is so madly in love with Ozil, so I won't be surprised with his analysis.
No, look, I need to be realistic, to be honest, because we don't know a lot of things that have gone on behind the scenes. You know, the only thing we've just been hearing is just potential rumors. You know, we've heard different stories about him being exiled from the squad by Raul Sanheli, and then Raul Sanheli left the club, and then Ozil is still being exiled from the squad. And then, you know, it was so absurd when Mikel Arteta came out to say that Ozil is not in the squad because of footballing reasons. And then Arsenal was suffering on the pitch because they did not have a creator. I mean, you cannot see the difference while Ehis has not been part of the team. So definitely it's not because of footballing reasons. That's not why Ozil was exiled from the squad. Yes, he did have issues with Unai Emery. Unai Emery probably felt like he wasn't working as hard as every other person. He was exiled by Unai Emery. Freddie Ljungberg didn't play him so much. And then when Arteta did take over, he was playing. He played a good number of games, had a brilliant start to 2020, and then after the pandemic, to the restart of football, no Mesut Ozil. But I think the worst part about it is the fact that he was involved in one of the friendly games. So Arsenal fans were looking forward to him playing, and then all of a sudden, no Mesut Ozil, and then you say he's not part of the squad for footballing reasons. I really don't get that. So, and concerning Arsenal not posting anything about his departure, I just feel like probably pen has not been put to paper by Ozil, and maybe Arsenal is just playing by the books. They want everything to be official in terms of his medical, and then actually physically putting pen to paper. So let's just wait and see. Hopefully by the weekend, I think everything should be sorted out, and probably he's unveiling as well, and then we can actually see a proper goodbye from Arsenal Football Club. But till then, let's just wait. And I'm really, really looking forward to the tell all. I'm looking forward to maybe Ozil
to the story. Yeah,
exactly. You can just make a surprise on us and say, "Oh, I have a tell-all book now," and it's going to tell us every single little thing that happened. I'm so curious to know what exactly went down behind closed doors. So, looking forward to that. Maybe the story might change next weekend. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, Chimamaka. We have Chimamaka calling in from the other side of Lagos, because we can activate his video right now. He can't join us with the video mode, so he's calling in through audio. Chimamaka.
Yeah, guys. Well, I totally agree with guys what they've said, what Ade has said, and what Ogbe has also said. Well, it's a good one for both parties. That's Arsenal and Ozil, being that finally we're going to eventually see Ozil play football again, and Arsenal has actually moved on from Ozil. So it's good for both parties. As I said, we would all be very, very, very happy to see the unveiling of whatever happened behind closed doors that brought about the asking Ozil from getting James. No. So eventually, but at the long run, you realize, it's good for both parties. Ozil is going to be playing football. Arsenal wouldn't be doling out 350,000 weekly any longer. So it's a win-win for every one of them. But I will be happy when we know exactly what happens. But for now, it's a good deal for both parties.
Well, for me, I think I have an opinion, Jay, even if I'm currently the episode. I'm not permitted to say my own part of the story.
No, definitely. Yeah. But as far as it's going to be different.
You know me. I've never supported Ozil from the onset, because the fact is no player can be bigger than the club. We don't know what exactly happened. We don't know the story behind, because like Okwe mentioned, Ozil played a couple of games for Arteta. Then after the pandemic, all of a sudden, Ozil was axed out of the team. Definitely there was a reason for him being axed out. Arteta coming trying to manage the whole situation, saying for footballing reason. And I was on Plus TV the other day when I said, if Arteta is saying for footballing reasons, there are some players in that team for footballing reason that should be axed out of that team. Example, Willian from Chelsea. Yes. Chimamaka, I said it, Willian from Chelsea, because you guys sold us one waste.
I would like to cut you short today. Don't say Willian from Chelsea. Chelsea is not paying his wages. It's Arsenal's Willian. When he was at Chelsea, he was playing a Chelsea way, and he was performing in a Chelsea way.
Well,
we as Chelsea fans saw his lapses. Arsenal said they wanted, and we gave him. So it's your headache for you to drink your Panadol. It's not a Chelsea thing. So don't start Willian to Chelsea any longer. It's now an Arsenal problem. So sort yourselves out.
The Panadol cannot even cure this headache at this time. Panadol cannot cure it. So, like as I was saying, so for footballing reason, which I know Arteta is just trying to manage the whole situation. He doesn't want to put it out there, but we know what is going on. Just to allude to Okpe and Ade's opinion, we can't wait. We're waiting to get to know the truth of what really happened. Because for me, even if I'm an Arsenal player currently, I will be scared that will this that happened to Ozil also happen to me in the future if things don't go right. That's an example of Saka, the Nigerian boy, and ESR, Emil Smith Rowe. They're playing good right now. So what if anything happens in the future? Is this how Arsenal is going to treat me as a player? So I think Arsenal too, they should have come up with an official statement, because there's nothing new under the sun. Ozil won't be the first player that has done anything wrong, and for the club to oust him out or cut him off. Let everybody know what is going on, but the whole secrecy around it is what is really, really baffling. But we hope to hear from Ozil when he fully signs, because I know he will talk. I know he will come out and say what the reason is. But Arsenal, they're looking at this guy from Real Madrid, Odegaard. Okwe, is that a deal that Arsenal should be looking at? Another young and promising.
I'm kind of indifferent about the deal, or should I say it's a wrong move. Why is that? Because Martin Odegaard, he's someone, he's a promising talent. I'll say he's still promising because he's yet to prove himself at that high stage. He had a brilliant season with Real Sociedad, and then Zidane decided to bring him back. You know what? He's been at the club since he's been 16, always been sent out on loan. Okay, had a breakout season with Real Sociedad, had a nice partnership with Oyarzabal, Adnan Januzaj, they basically created terror in La Liga last season. Now, brought him back into the team. Beginning of the season, Zidane actually altered his playing style. For Odegaard, Zidane started to play a 4-2-3-1, and it didn't prove to be pivotal or successful at all for Zidane. They were losing games and they were losing vital points. And immediately, he decided to ask him from the squad, go back to usual 4-3-3. That's the reason why Real Madrid are where they are currently. Yes, they are not fantastic. Yes, they are inconsistent, but they are playing much better than when they had Odegaard in the team. And honestly, he cannot even compete with any of their wingers. We're talking about Hazard, Asensio, Lucas Vazquez, who is also a great makeshift player for them, and he can't just see himself in that squad. Now he wants to go out on loan. Arsenal have Emil Smith Rowe, who is playing fantastic football currently, who is working hard for the team. I don't think Martin Odegaard has the same work rates as Emil Smith Rowe. It will be difficult for Odegaard to blend into the Premier League. Odegaard lacks upper body strength, which you can actually see from Kai Havertz currently. That's one major reason why Kai Havertz is not playing fantastically well for Chelsea at the moment. I'm just wondering why he would want to loan that type of player. Really, I don't think Arsenal should be going for that type of player. I think Arsenal should be going for an experienced playmaker.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, and there's someone who has been on their radar for a long time. That's Rodrigo De Paul of Udinese. And look, he's an experienced player, someone who can play as a number 10, number 8, number 6. You need that type of player.
Don't you think this Odegaard deal is just a smoke screen? They know who they are going for, but they just want to, so at times some of this deal, they just try to bring another deal that will distract people and distract whoever, and they'll just go for whoever they want to sign.
No, actually, I don't think so, because the first target who everyone has been talking about has been Emu Buendia, who plays for Norwich City. But then Norwich want about 40 million to 50 million pounds for him,
which is crazy,
in January. No, and I don't, without due respect to him, I don't think he's worth that price tag. Yes, we know the transfer market is absolutely ridiculous right now, but is Emu Buendia worth 50 million pounds? No, I don't think so. I mean, we signed Thomas Partey for 45 million pounds. Why would you sign Buendia for 45 or 50 million pounds? It makes no sense to me. So I think they are actually desperate right now because they need a cover for Emil Smith Rowe. Willian has tried to play in that position, has not been forthcoming at all.
Waste.
So Willian is not even an option. So if Emil Smith Rowe is not playing, what happens to us now? That is the problem.
Yeah. Why
would you want to loan Martin Odegaard for the second half of the season? And I'm not so clear about the rules about loaning two players from one club in one particular season. That's another thing that might be looked at. So maybe that deal is not feasible. So I was talking about Rodrigo De Paul. That's someone who has been playing fantastic football for Udinese for like the last 4 to 5 years. Highly consistent, broken into the Argentina national team, and he's a great player. Someone who Arsenal should have signed, who I wouldn't even have an issue with, is Dominic Szoboszlai. But then they were so slow with the deal, and obviously they were not willing to play hardball. And just look at that, RB Leipzig snapped him up immediately even before the January transfer got open.
Yeah.
So that position is a huge problem for Arsenal. I really don't know what they're going to do, but then look,
For
it's
me,
just a matter of time. They are 2 weeks at the end of the transfer window. They need to sign a playmaker.
I feel that deal will be that position, signing a player for that position will be done in the summer. It's not going to happen this January. Adi, Manchester United, you guys are flying. Pogba's fantastic goal yesterday. For me, I just want to ask a question. Whatever happened to Odion Igalo? Because it was in blistering form for you guys, for Manchester United, and all of a sudden it was just the same treatment that was meted out to Ozil was meted out to Igalo. It was what's the word? It was X'd out of the squad. But though, was it part of the EPL team? Was he a registered player?
Yes, he's registered.
Okay, so whatever happened to our own striker, Nigerian striker?
As a Nigerian fan and as a Man U fan, I'm really disappointed. First, I thought I was going to see him against Watford, because Ole promised us he was going to play at some point.
Yeah.
And it was like he's going to play, so I even thought he was going to start or maybe come in the second half. But Manchester United, they always try to give ourselves a headache. We should have been comfortable in the first half, scored 1, 2, 3 goals, and then bring him in the second half so he could play against his former squad too. Probably his last match for Manchester United, But I think I listened to the Manchester United podcast and Odion was on. He's so emotional about just wanting to play for Man U. So I think even if he has to clean their booty, I think he will stay there to the end of the season. Because he was so passionate about this squad. It was like, when he went to sign for Man U.
But you wouldn't blame him. That's his childhood club.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you don't blame him.
Give me a chance to clean shoes for Man U. I'll run there right now and do it. But I'm saying that he's a professional. Your football should be the major thing that you should be about. I know you're a fan and all, but that's what you get paid. You get paid to play, and if you don't play, then nobody's watching, nobody's looking at you. You can't get picked. But that's a problem. Sorry, I'm good diverting. He has problem with the national squad. He might not play for the whole season, but he has a spot in Nigerian team. Whereas other international players are traveling, they are telling their managers, I have to play because I have to be in the national team. I have to get looked at. So that's why Sancho is trying to run back to England so that the manager can see him play, and so he can have his spot in the squad. So, as a Man U fan and a Nigerian fan, I'm happy he's there, but as a Nigerian fan, I'm not happy to see him on the bench.
Is he going to leave this January?
Absolutely, he's leaving. His deal ends by the end of January, so I'm expecting him to leave.
There's no renewal or there's no extension?
No, none at all. He's not even making the bench anymore, so I don't think there's any need for that.
True though. But is Manchester United looking at bringing any new addition this January transfer window? Because yes, Manchester United, they are flying. I feel the problem that is there for Manchester United is Fernandes. He has been so. He has been so integral to Manchester United ever since he joined. Fantastic signing, but he has been so loaded this past few months. Is there anybody in that team that could step in for him or whatever? Whenever he gets injured, we're not praying he gets injured, but should in case, because these things happen, it's football. So is there any possible replacement for Fernandes in that team?
Well, the only possible replacement that we have for him right now, sadly, is Lingard. It's Lingard to play the number 10 position. Stop laughing, it's not funny. We have Lingard, and then of course we have Mata.
Wants out.
Well, I think Mata's contract ends in June, the summer, and we have option to renew for 1 year. So let's see how that goes. But concerning for now, I don't think we have any prospects, any signing that we have to make in January. Yes.
I think Manchester United are good. They're so good. They're comfortable right now. So playing well, playing fantastic. Ole has been able to integrate. For now, yes.
For now, exactly.
But credit needs to be given to who is due, or whatever the team. Manchester United, they're due to be given credit because they've been fantastic. How many games
Absolutely.
now? Ole has been able to look for a way to manage Fernandes and Pogba in the same team, and Fred too is doing fantastically well, and they're just doing the best. But there's a team in London, the Wayne Blue, where they say the sky is blue, and you know their thoughts. Their fans in Nigeria, possibly their touts. That's what it says. That's what it says. I'm just saying. Thank God Chimamaka's video is not on, so he can't see me right now. So Chimamaka, what's up? What's up? What's up with Chelsea?
All right, Chelsea finances are going on at Chelsea. The team is in shambles, and there's so many things that are not supposed to be happening are happening. Now, I want to add to what Adi said with Manchester United. I think they brought in Amad Diallo at the beginning of the transfer.
Yeah, true.
I think they brought him in, so I think he's going to do well in midfield too as well. So talking about him, Fernandes, if he's injured, we hope he's not injured, because the energy at which Fernandes shows in every game is what every manager wants to have in his team. So there's a different hunger.
He's been so fantastic.
Fernandes, exactly. He has brought so much to the Manchester United team. Presently, it's not like they are playing exceptionally well, but you realize that they are grinding out results week in, week out, which is key.
Yeah.
So now I think with time, with more victories, they eventually get a balance. So that's with Manchester United. Now back to Chelsea. With Chelsea, we don't expect coming in, but we expect going out, because we have so many players who, if I start mentioning their names, you'll be surprised they're still Chelsea players, and some of them are going out, like the Danny Drinkwater, who should be out on loan this season. Then we have Baba Rahman as well.
So that Danny Drinkwater name makes me laugh anytime you mention that name. But continue.
So these are guys who we are not seeing on the front scene. We are seeing them at behind closed doors. So at least they are footballers too as well, and they are also going out on loan, which is good for their footballing career if they really want to push that. So with Chelsea presently, there is nothing going on. All we expect at Chelsea is just a balance in the team, and we have a manager who, in my own opinion, no disrespect to any Chelsea fan out there, my own opinion, we have a manager who presently lacks tactical know, and that has been his undoing. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'm telling you from everything I have seen.
We're recording this, so it's what I'm in the past.
So
that I'm going to hold you to it, Chimamaka, because when Chelsea now starts another winning streak, you say, Lampard is capable. Lampard is the best. Is the best guy. So I'm going to remind you of this. I'm going to remind you of this podcast. Yeah.
No, I'll try to correct you here. Lampard was at Chelsea for a full season, and he decided to bring out a winning formula, which actually worked for him. I won't call it an outright winning formula, but he actually got a blend of the players he would like to play, and we are grinding out results. At the beginning of the season, what was our own doing was we kept on playing the same way. We are not seeing any tactical know-how from the manager. But if you compare, I don't like comparing, but with Arteta at Arsenal, despite the fact that we are losing games, you are seeing the tactical approach at which this guy approaches these games. It only means when he's lacking something, he knows exactly what to do. It comes out good. Eventually, they might not give you the result, but you see that even despite the fact Arsenal, they are not bringing in results, they are playing good game. Eventually, they've blended in, they are sitting in well, and they are knocking out teams as it is. It only means this man has an idea. All he needed was to have a balance with the kind of players he was going to use. And if you remember in some of our previous podcasts, I talked about creativity in Arsenal's midfield. I'm sorry I'm talking so much about Arsenal, but eventually we are seeing Emil Smith Rowe doing the job. Nobody's complaining. it only means
for me, I'm sorry to cut you there. I'm not going to give credit to Arteta on that because it was a situational change because he heard the fans. The fans cried out. People, even football pundits mentioned it until he had to accept to even try Emil Smith Rowe in that role. And when he tried Emil Smith Rowe took opportunity. It wasn't as if it was Arteta's doing. So
listen, Arteta is the manager. He can choose to listen and choose not to listen. It's his choice.
Well, it was good he listened though.
The fact he listened and is working, is it not good for you as an Arsenal fan? Are you not happy you are seeing that happen? You are seeing yourself grinding out and playing good football. That's all we're talking about. Now in the back to the Chelsea team. What will
Are you there, Chimamaka?
No.
Okay,
those who are let's know those who are performing, and because as it is this season, we've not had a starting 11. A functional starting 11. I don't know what's going on, but we've not had a functional starting 11. Today you see Giroud starting. To the next game you see Tammy Abraham starting. Before you know anything, you see Timo. For God's sake, all we need is consistency from our manager. Just give us a constant 15-man squad that you know will do this job, and we are good. Before you know anything, it's time using 1, 2, or 3 players. But for now, let's get this. If you have to bench Hakim Ziyech or bench Timo Werner to start a Tino Journey, I'm good with it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I said if you have to start 18-1 journey to bench a Hakim Ziyech, so be it. I'm good with that. So
I need to come in there because I don't totally agree with Chimamaka. Look, when it comes to Chelsea, you can't put the blame totally on Frank Lampard. Look at these players; you are giving them opportunity after opportunity. Most of these players have not taken it. Take a look at Olivier Giroud. The time when he was giving a good run in the team, he did perform. And then in a big game where I expected him not to be dropped, Frank Lampard goes ahead to drop him against his former club. Obviously, he would have been fueled and determined to actually score a goal against Arsenal.
I'm sorry to cut you short. You said, and we all know, we saw Giroud. Whenever he was given the chance, he took advantage of it. Now, what problem would it be a problem for him to maintain this striker in the next game? Is it going to be a problem for him to continue this guy?
That's not the fault of Giroud. But then the problem is when he then brings in other players who have been playing consistently. Now I'm talking about the likes of Timo Werner, Tammy Abraham, Kai Havertz, who has had a good run in the team as well. Recently, Christian Pulisic has had a good run in the team as well. These players don't repay the faith that the manager has shown in them. That is the problem right there.
Yeah,
and then you need if you want a team to be successful, you're not just going to rely on individuals. At the end of the day, even if you do have outstanding players, good team football is what's going to get you the good results at the end of the day and the major trophies in the long run. So I'm not going to put the blame totally on Frank Lampard. Just like I said before my podcast, even Ade said it earlier, even his backroom staff, they have issues. Take a look at Jody Morris. If you compare other managers and see the crop of players that they are always surrounded with, the best example of a manager who always had a brilliant backroom staff had to be Sir Alex Ferguson. Take a look at all his assistants, from Steve McLaren, Carlos Queiroz, Mike Phelan currently. He has had brilliant people in his backroom staff. Look at Sam Allardyce. He has had Sammy Lee with him for a very long time. Look at Pep. Had someone like Tito with him. Great managers always have brilliant people in their backroom staff. Who is in Frank Lampard's backroom staff? I mean, without due respect to them, these are not people that you need to help keep a young manager in check. These are not experienced tacticians who have been successful in other places. So a lot of factors are going on at Chelsea. It's not just about Frank Lampard. I'm sorry to cut you short. Now, you're talking about all these guys. If I may ask, who picks the backroom staff? He's the manager. The manager does it himself. So I don't see why. Well, I don't want to agree with me, but it's the manager.
There's no how you want to talk about it. There's no how you want to define it. It boils down to the manager. So let's not forget one thing. No matter how terrible the players are playing on the pitch, you cannot send the entire 23-man squad away. You send the manager and his entire crew away. So it boils down to the manager. If you're going to now, when Lampard picked up the Derby job, he relieved what's his name, Jody Morris of the under 18 Chelsea squad, and he joined him there. It only means he saw something good in him. Now at the beginning of the season, he brought in Anthony Barry, who is a defensive he's a defensive coach. Thank God Chelsea's defense is not as porous as that of last season, because we see, in fact, Chelsea has not considered, I don't think they've considered about up to 3-4 goals this season from aerial duels. It only means that the person he brought in to do the defensive job is actually doing his job. Now it's now left for him and the other guys to play their parts. Lampard is an ex-international. Lampard is a Chelsea legend. He knows the kind of managers he has met. He knows the kind of managers he has played with. So he has. I don't think you should wake up one day and say he's not fit for the job. Yes, I will tell you he might not be fit for the job because he has not spent years. I won't say that because even Pep Guardiola himself was picked from the junior team to coach the Barcelona. Yeah. I don't know if you understand that, and he was successful. So it's no excuse for anybody. All I'm saying as a Chelsea fan and as a pundit is Lampard should try as much as possible. It's not in my hands. He should try as much as possible to bring about a balance. If he has to offend people to bring about that balance, then so be it.
Well, I feel that's what Okwetu is trying to bench. But that's what Okwetu is trying to say as well, that the players as well, they need to look at themselves in the mirror. Themselves, whichever one is correct, though. They need to also, do a moment of reflection.
Chelsea is missing Mount. He's the only person playing with his heart. He's the only Chelsea player I can tell you categorically is playing with everything in him. So if you have a missing Mount in 4 or 5 different areas of the pitch, you will see what you will get results you are looking for. Because these guys are playing with their hearts. I don't know if you get me. Like now, I remember at the beginning of the season, we were criticizing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Then we were talking about Fernandes and the like. You realize on the whole pitch, Fernandes was the only person playing football. But everybody decided to leave.
Everybody had to.
Now that is grinding in results.
True.
So all we need is him to wake every other person up from their slumber. Then you just from the twinkle of an eye, you see some things start changing.
But the players
so
too.
The
players too have to justify. They have to justify why they are being paid.
Their selection
weekly, week in, week out. So same thing happened at Arsenal. Pepe has not been it this season. But seeing him is on the bench. Exactly. So for him to make that first 11, he needs to make that justification to Arteta that yes, I'm ready. I've gotten to that level. Willian that we thought was going to do magic. Willian, he doesn't even have a magic wand. Not to the extent of saying you want to do magic. So Willian to have to prove to Arteta that yes, this is why I left Chelsea to come and join Arsenal to win the Champions League in the next 3 years. So, because he said he's going to put himself into the plan of Arteta to win Champions League in the next 3 years, so he has to justify that. But other interesting, because of time, other interesting stories that we could have touched. Maybe in our next update we'll touch it. Danny Ings, he wants to move to a Champions League club, and we're looking at Tottenham in that deal. Danny Rose on the verge also of leaving Tottenham, going to Turkey. Wolves as well, they're looking at signing another striker because we heard Jimenez is back in training, but we don't know when it will be fully fit. Another interesting story, Eriksen. I don't know, Adi, you didn't see that? Manchester United interested in Eriksen from Inter Milan. Adi?
No, I have not seen that. I heard what I read earlier was going back to Tottenham or Arsenal, but I don't think he's going back to Arsenal. I think it will be Tottenham.
I think this news just popped up on Sky saying Manchester United, Eriksen offer. Probably there's something Ole is looking at. looking for a backup for Fernandes. Who knows?
I also think Leicester City too. Leicester City too are also looking to bring in Eriksen, but they have their Eriksen's wage demand is actually their own problem.
Yeah.
300,000. So I think Manchester United, if actually they're really in for that deal, they'll be the best fit for him. Well, it's going to be a big tussle between himself and Fernandes because he plays
Eriksen can stay where he is, please. we don't want another £300,000 week player while on our head again. We're just getting our Pogba back now, and we don't have that.
Arsenal is passing it. When Arsenal the losing streak, they passed it over to Chelsea. Now maybe the £300,000 weekly wages will pass it to Man U, so suffer it a bit.
No, it came from Man U to Arsenal. Now they're coming it back. You don't want to.
Yes, exactly, because Sanchez started this whole thing.
Yeah. Exactly now.
But sorry. Can I just take it back a bit?
No problem.
To what Chimamaka was talking about, like players waking up. I think if you are being bought for that kind of amount, I don't think I have to tell you to wake up.
You don't need to sleep.
Exactly. I don't have to sleep at all. Like I don't think I should be telling you if a player like Werner or Havertz, like you wake up. Like, come on. You know how much you bought. You know how much I got it per week. So I don't think I have to wake you up. I have to ginger you to play football. So that's what I thought to add on that last
I agree with you, though, but most times we make this mistake. What is the mistake we make? Because of the high price tag on their head, we expect you to come and perform.
Chimamaka, don't go there. I'm not going to allow you. I won't allow you land. I will not allow you land there. I will not allow you land there. Let me tell you something. We
saw Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Sanchez was playing. He was performing wonders at Arsenal. We know that. But he went to Manchester United and we are looking for him.
But there were stories to back up the reason behind the poor performance. He never wanted to leave. He was ousted. He was ousted away from the Arsenal team. Wenger he was forced out. He never wanted to leave.
Hold on. Are you going to look at him being forced out and accepting the amount he's accepting at Arsenal? That is the same thing you're talking about. Either being forced out or he went.
Not even forced out. His mind was set, or his heart was set for Manchester City. Manchester City was the team he wanted to play for. He wanted to play for Guardiola. But all of a sudden, Mourinho and his ways, he came, hijacked the deal. Do you understand? And paid the money. And Arsenal, they were willing to collect the money from whoever was willing. Though the deal, they had to now do a split deal with Mkhitaryan. That deal was just a swap deal. That deal was just one of the deals that never worked out. And I don't want to go there, but you wouldn't imagine a player like Messi or Ronaldo moving from Real Madrid to Juventus, and you're telling me he needs time. He needs to wake up. You saw him, he went there, he started firing. So that's what we're saying. If
you have just a Ronaldo, just once in a century, hope you know that. You don't get Ronaldo.
You don't give soft landing to players that are bought with high amounts of money. You need to go there and start firing. And I don't know why it's Chelsea. Chelsea have been on the back end of signing players a huge amount of money, and it takes them like 6 months or 1 year to perform. E.g., Fernando Torres. It happened. So
what was Torres' excuse?
Well, like I said, I think this thing is peculiar with Chelsea, signing players and taking them months, years for them to start firing. That's why I had to cite an example of Fernando Torres. It happened to him as well. 50 million.
Then after Fernando Torres, who else do you have again?
Well, I can't remember. So talking about Chelsea. Tomori deal will be sorted out this weekend with AC Milan. Yeah, so I think that's just a story that I can read out. The latest transfer update stories. But before we round up this podcast, there's something I want to ask everybody. It's just a fun fact. Is there a difference between highest goal scorer and the greatest goal scorer? Because the reason I'm asking is all of a sudden we knew what happened yesterday. CR7 scoring, is it 761 or 760?
760.
760. So he has passed what's that guy's name? I've forgotten. Sorry? So all of a sudden, the fans on the other divide start coming up with different narrative of there's a difference between. I saw a tweet. I think I shared that tweet on the group, on the Skype group, on the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So I don't know. Let me just read the guy's tweet so that we can just talk about it to round off. The guy said Ronaldo is a player with the most goals, but he's not the greatest goal scorer. Pele, Messi, Puskas, Gerard Muller, Eusebio are all better goal scorers than Ronaldo. You could make a case for Ronaldo de Lima as well. CR7 only has more goals because he played way more games than them. So I want to ask, is there a difference between a greatest goal scorer and a highest goal scorer? Because I'm a bit confused.
Nah, man, I don't buy that, because I think that's just an agenda to try and give more importance to all those other players. I mean, whose fault is it that Cristiano Ronaldo is a pure breed athlete? Whose fault is it that Ronaldo put in a lot of time and effort on the pitch, takes good care of himself, and was able to play for so long and score as many goals? Mm-hmm. Whose fault was it that Ronaldo was able to transition from being a left winger into a poacher, a forward? I can't even call him a striker because he's always in the right place at the right time. Even in terms of assists, he's still banging in the assists. What else do you want from the man? 760 goals. Look at all the big clubs he has played for. Look at what he did for Real Madrid. Come on, no, we shouldn't be entertaining things like that. That makes no sense. He said you can give an excuse for Ronaldo de Lima. Truth be told, if Ronaldo de Lima played much longer, took better care of himself, most likely his numbers will probably be the same with Cristiano Ronaldo. But look, one thing that you must keep in mind is that records are made to be broken. So for now, let's just enjoy this while we have it. We don't even know if till the next phase of life, if there will be someone who actually surmount Ronaldo's record.
Adi, before Chimamaka drops his own.
Yes, I believe that statement is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I've never heard anything as ridiculous as that. This is 2021, please. Let's have sense. How can you say Ronaldo he's not a great goal scorer? What? That's an insult to footballers around the world. Come on. He has done this around the world. Like, what else do you want from him? I think it's just ridiculous. I don't want to go further so that I don't get angry. So that's my final say.
Chimamaka.
They've said it all. What else do you want to hear? Whoever dropped that tweet or that message has an agenda, and
seriously,
he actually needs to wake up.
Seriously,
he actually needs to wake up. You don't get such kind of players every year. You don't get an alpha breed of a poacher like Ronaldo every century. Man, no, sorry, I think it's just one in a century, I believe. Mm-hmm. As we all know, records are meant to be broken.
True.
And Ronaldo actually had this in mind. He went for it and he took it. Let's also not forget that Ronaldo is, if not the most disciplined athlete I have known in my existence as a human being.
True.
Very, very disciplined. You wouldn't hear him have brawl at the nightclub, or he overdrank himself to stupor, or he's always talking about, if you listen to the people who have played with him, they keep telling you that Ronaldo teaches them or teaches them on the kind of diet they have just to take care of themselves. And you see somebody's efforts, you see everything is put into the pitch. I remember some time back in the EPL when Tevez was talking about Ronaldo, and Tevez said he tried to come early for training, and meanwhile he got there I think about 30 minutes before training commenced, and he met Ronaldo already on the pitch, and according to Tevez, he said Ronaldo was there an hour and a half before he even got there.
Already sweating.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is somebody who knows what he wants. and eventually he's achieving that, and some people are asking questions. Man, this is 2021, as Adi said. Let everybody, if it is profitable for man to have sense, so let whoever said that go and look for it.
For me, I don't want to mention the guy's Twitter handle, but not to give the guy props. No, but the guy has Messi. No, the guy has Messi's picture as his DP. So that was why I said, when I started this, I said the analysis came from the other divide, because I know in the world presently is either you're Messi or you're with Ronaldo. But for me, both of them are great footballers, but credit needs to be given to Ronaldo. You know, setting that record and stopping whoever was there. I mean, when was the last year the guy had that record? I think in the 70s and the 80s. I'm not too sure. The guy that set the record.
I don't think my father was born when that record was set. So you don't expect a very long time, man. In fact, they don't have a picture of the guy, of the Bichan man in colored. He's all in black and white. What are you talking about? This is more like how many centuries ago? No. Whoever dropped that tweet should go and have everything. I'm just thinking about the whole thing again. And I'm like, wait, somebody calm down and type how many words.
Are you saying they are
and he posted.
He has scored, trying to justify that there's a difference between great goal scorers and highest goal scorer. So the question I want to ask is, imagine in a World Cup final, a Champions League final, 89 minutes, there's a corner kick. Now I'm taking it to the street. You know when we used to play sets back then that they say rock up or go? I don't know. Did that sound well? Rock up or, you know?
Yes.
In English, what do we call that? Goal mouth scramble, right? So there's a goal mouth scramble, and you're now telling me FIFA will say no, because the goal is not a great goal, we wouldn't give the team that scored that goal the World Cup. Go and score a prolific or a better goal. Jeez, come on. A goal is a goal. So far, he hits the back of the net.
Besides, you can't rule the fact out that Ronaldo has been doing some crazy kind of goal. Now we're talking about SCR7. Which athletes, even basketballers, envy Ronaldo's height in the air?
Guys,
and scoring goals at such distance.
It suspends in the air.
And you, please. Can any other person define what a great goal or a great goal scorer is? I don't know English so well that I cannot define it.
You know when we play sets, when we're in primary school, there's one we use, Ogiri Bamila. Sorry, I'm using all this terminology.
Back to the street, man.
You know, there's
classic one.
There's one you use, Ogiri Bamila. You know, he goes in. What's Ogiri Bamila in English for our listeners outside Nigeria?
I don't think that it doesn't matter.
So what's the translation for Olago?
It's fire.
I'm going to translate that.
This fire is
I think it's okay. He flopped his line. Could that be similar to Olago?
No. It doesn't sound as explicit as Olago.
If I'm talking about English, I think pidgin English has to be the closest that can probably give this. In me some.
I said in background. Please, can you describe what background means? But you understand it.
Exactly.
Crazy, man. But it's nice doing this.
Sorry, can I quickly say something before I don't want to round up?
Yeah, no problem.
What is with all these legends and not wanting to let their records go? First, it was Pele. Santos said Messi didn't break the record. Now, this afternoon, I was reading Slavia Prague said Biscan had 821 goals when they counted it. Ronaldo has not broken the record yet. Come on. What is with these guys that are trying to keep the records? Come on. Let it go.
Watch and see. You realize that even I'm trying to see GNB actually scored greater goals than all of them put together at some point to get to that stage. when you hear that the president of Nigeria scored more goals
Sorry, please.
than all those guys.
Please.
Especially the football.
Please,
Wow,
please.
No, we didn't hear that.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
I didn't hear that too.
Sorry.
I don't know who said that. I can't go there no video to prove that.
Sorry, on that, we're gonna edit that place off. Really. On that note, it's been nice doing this with you guys. It's been nice talking football with you guys. The transfer update edition on Footweed Podcast. It's a good one that Ade made his debut, and we hope to see more of you on the podcast. We hope to have more of you on the podcast representing Manchester United. And I hope one day you meet Samiat, you meet Tunde, they're the Manchester United fans, and Dikwa as well. So from us here on Footweed Podcast, we say have a pleasant weekend until we come again on our next episode. Thank you very much.
Cheers.